You think you need money to make money. You've been lied to. The allied know you only need the illusion of value to move mountains of real capital. Imagine this. You walk into a bank. You have $0 in your account. You have no gold in the world. But you walk out with $50 million in credit. How? You didn't sign for the money with collateral. You signed for it with your name. What if I told you that the world's most powerful people don't use cash? They use their ego. They use their reputation as a debt instrument. They trade on the promise of who they are while you are stuck trading your life for a paycheck. But by the time you realize how deep this goes, it will be too late. Let's look at the evidence. You are inside the system. Now let's talk business. The illusion. The world wants you to believe in the hard work myth. They tell you to save. They tell you to build a credit score. They tell you that every dollar must be backed by sweat. This is the concrete jungle where the masses live. In this world, debt is a burden. It's a weight around your neck. It's digital handcuffs. You take a loan, you give the bank your house as collateral. You give them your car. You give them a piece of your future. If you fail, they take your life apart. But there is a world above the clouds. In this world, collateral isn't physical, it's psychological. While you are worried about interest rates, the elite are mastering the collateralized ego. They don't use assets to get loans. They use letters of credit. They use personal guarantees. They move millions without spending a single cent of their own money. Now, you might be thinking, if this is true, why hasn't everyone noticed? The answer lies in the way the elite speak to the banks. They don't ask for permission, they offer a partnership. But how do you partner with a bank when you have nothing? That's where the first crack in the system appears. The crack. Let's look at a glitch in history. Consider the rise of the shipping magnates. Men like Aristotle Onassis. He didn't start with a fleet, he started with a vision and a very loud name. He didn't go to the bank and show them his bank balance. He showed them a contract, a letter of intent from a big oil company. He told the bank, they will pay me to move their oil. You give me the money to buy the ships. The bank didn't lend him money based on his net worth. They lent it based on his influence. He was using his reputation to create money out of thin air. This is the backroom deal. Here is the secret: bank aren't looking for money, they are looking for certainty. If you can project enough ego, If your reputation is perceived as too big to fail, the bank become your servant. They don't want your house. They want to be associated with your success. Reality check 2023. While small businesses were folding under high interest rates, the top 1% of earners accessed over $1 trillion in unsecured credit. That's credit backed by nothing but a signature. But wait, it gets darker. If the money is based on a name, what happens when the name is a lie? You've seen it happen. You've seen the visionaries who build empires on smoke and mirrors. They didn't get caught because they were broke. They got caught because the ego finally outran the reality. But before we look at the wreckage, we have to ask, how do they actually pull the trigger on these deals? The reality. This is the invisible truth. The elite use a tool called the personal guarantee. To you, that sounds scary. It means if the business fails, you are personally liable. To a high level player, a personal guarantee is a weapon. It is a signal of ultimate confidence. It's a psychological buy in. They tell the banks, I am the collateral. And because they have built a brand, a network, and an aura of power, the bank believes them. The bank issues is a standby letter of credit, SBLC. This is a piece of paper, it's a promise. But in the world of high finance, that promise is more valuable than gold. They take that SBLC and use it to leverage 10, 20, or 50 times its value. They buy companies, they buy real estate, they buy influence. They are playing a game of monopoly with blood money, money that doesn't exist until they decide it does. This affects your life every single day. Every time a billionaire buys a social media platform or a global conglomerate, they aren't using their savings. They are using your future. They are leveraging the system so heavily that if they fail, the whole world shakes. You are the one paying for it. You pay in inflation, you pay in time poverty. You spend your life working for the very currency they create with a flick of a pen. They have turned their ego into a debt instrument, and they have turned you into the ultimate collateral. Now, ask yourself, if your reputation was worth 100 million tomorrow, what would you do with it? Most people wouldn't know how to handle that power. They would be crushed by the weight of their own shadow. The power move. The secret is out. The world isn't run by capital. It's run by the perception of capital. If you want to escape the trap, stop building your savings. Start building your weight. Start building a name that a bank would fear to say no to. But be warned, when you use your ego as a collateral, you are betting your soul. If you lose, There is no bankruptcy court for your reputation. You don't just lose your money, you lose your right to exist in the room. The choice is yours. What system should we decode next? Tell me in the comment section.